No.
No.
I've
All
heard
right.
of it, but that's it.
All right. Well, I'm very sorry, Irene, but we were unable to answer your question. We have a couple other comments about people who have just returned from river cruises over the last couple of weeks and have either had clients reach out to them and saying they had a great time or they had their own great time. So it is nice to see again the segment moving. But I want to get back into sort of the bookings of river cruise lines, and I'm curious if either you had advice on how you can convert clients into river cruise clients. Suzanne, we spoke about a little bit about this in the beginning with the younger demographic, but when you're introducing the product to someone who may be used to ocean cruises or maybe used to tours,
Yeah.
do you have a process or do you have any advice to share?
Um, it's you've got to go on one yourself, so that you can speak first about it. The first river cruise that I went on back in 2017, it was a short one. It was a Christmas market from Zurich to Frankfurt or Basel to Frankfurt. And that was the one that I just talked to friends about it. And everybody posted on social media. So friends of friends of friends of friends that knew that we were all on there. It was just, a tidal wave of it. And that helped. And it helped that they were all on the younger age bracket. Yeah, I guess you got to kind of figure out what they're looking for. And once again, I equated that you're seeing parts of Europe that you're not going to see by an ocean cruise, or that you're only unpacking once. And a lot of people have the fear, oh, I'm going to get seasick. And you explain to them, and it's a real fear. They don't realize it's just in their mind. They hear the word cruise and they just lump everything together. So I explained to them that you're in a river, and there is no seasickness on it. And I had two people with me on that first cruise that were deathly afraid. And I said to them, I said, when you come home, if you were sick any of the days, I personally will give you back your money for this cruise, because that's how confident I was that they weren't going to get sick. And they came home and they've talked about it ever since, that they weren't sick and they enjoyed being able to get out on the water and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So you just got to, once again, experience it yourself and then just kind of figure out what's holding them back.
Yeah, I think from my knowledge, the average speed of a river ship is 8 to maybe 11 miles per hour. So it is. I mean, maybe it's insensitive because I laughed at that, but it is a very slow moving ship, and the rivers are not like the oceans. But Karen, I was hoping you could share your insights too, and I'm wondering,
Sure.
Karen, if there are any common questions you get from first time river cruise line guests.
Um, yeah, there are a couple of different types of people that love river cruising. A big type of individual, or one big category, is those that don't want to go on ocean cruises, have no interest in ocean cruises because they feel they're too big, too impersonal, too many people. I'm going to get sick, blah, blah, blah. And as Suzanne said, it's very easy to dispel that fear on a river cruise. One of the comments I always make is, because I know if they drink wine, I'll use this. I'll say, you can put your glass of wine on the railing on the sun deck and it will not spill. So they laugh, but it's true. It's like, there's like no rock and roll motion. I mean, there's some sound when you go through the locks, which we can talk about later, but there's no real seasick motion whatsoever. And then there's the people who do go on ocean cruises that want something different. They haven't been to Europe. They've heard about river cruises from their friends. They're retired. They have more time to spend. They're going to Europe for the first time, or maybe the second time. And the first time they went, they were young and they were backpacking, and now they're retired and they want something a little bit more refined and more all-inclusive and more upscale. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we have just because.